Roger, go for deploy.
Adventure Fit Radioers, second episode of Jared Fleming, who is a two-time national weightlifting champ. Again, this very educational and well-spoken interview with Jared. We talked to him about his training and nutrition, how he approaches a PR, and his Olympic goals and aspirations for 2020. We really hope you enjoy this episode, but before we get into it, it's brought to you by Audible. Get your free 30 days and free audio book at audibletrial.com/ADVF radio. It's also brought to you by Adventure Fit Travel, which is our mother company. Jump on their website, you will see that they have just released their Philippines trip for 2016. Very excited to go to this. It's November 1st to November 7th. Join Dmitry Klokov for a whole weightlifting seminar and hands-on coaching. Plus we get to go cliff jumping, free diving, zip lining, and a whole heap more of awesomeness. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Until next time.
So I can't remember where we left off, but we were talking about your competitive side and what you've done. So you've blown your ACL out with the clean. So what type of training are you doing in rehab now? Where are you at with it all?
Yeah. So I had surgery like 2 or 3 days after Christmas.
Yep.
Merry Christmas to me, right?
Yeah, that's right.
had surgery a couple of days after Christmas. So I'm about 4 months out from surgery now. And honestly, my recovery's been great. Things have been going really smooth. I'll make 100% recovery. Everything's good. My strength is good. My balance is good. Everything's great. The only thing that I've really struggled with is my flexibility.
Right.
Getting my knee to completely bend has been by far the worst part of it. It's just there's so much scar tissue in there. I tore my ACL and had my meniscus repaired, so I wasn't allowed to bend my knee for like 6 weeks. So I got a lot of scar tissue in there. So just forcing it to bend has just been rough. But
did they take a lot of meniscus out, or did they repair it?
No, well, so I opted to have them repair my meniscus instead of cutting it out because I didn't want to have like arthritis and different things on down the road. So they repaired it, which will make it slightly weaker than it was before. But it also takes a long time for your meniscus to heal itself because there's not a lot of blood flow. But it's going really well. Everything's been going great, and I went to the Olympic Training Center today actually because I'm here in Colorado. And had them take a look at it. I haven't seen them since I had surgery, and they said everything's looking good. So I'm on the right track to be back weightlifting. I'm actually hoping to have my first weightlifting competition in December at the American Open, and just not going to win, but just to go to compete and show that I'm back on the platform.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Good to have a goal set. So when you're let's talk a little bit about training. So what's your nutrition like, Jared? Tell us about and what do you walk around at as well? Like, do you have to eat a lot of food to be a solid 94 kilo weightlifter, or are you what's your metabolism like? How do you manage your weight? What do you walk around at?
Yeah, everybody's different. Like my good friend and training partner Travis Cooper, he's like the exact opposite. If he eats much of anything, he just gains a ton of weight.
Yep.
But me, my metabolism is super high. So when I'm training, it's always been hard for me to keep weight on.
Yeah.
So, I try to eat pretty clean in the sense of I try to get grass-fed beef and pasture chicken and stuff like that. Like, I want to get clean sources of food. But I do eat, I try to get, like 1 gram, per pound of or 2 grams per kilogram of body weight in protein. Yep. and plenty of carbohydrates and and fats and things like that. And I followed nutritionist guidelines before, and I don't really like it. I've been lifting for so many years, and with my background in kinesiology, I really just like to follow what my body wants. I just start to crave certain things, and whether it's chicken or rice or whatever. And I would just kind of eat what my body, felt it needed, and I would maintain weight pretty well, and found I was performing well. So I just try to eat clean, try not to eat a lot of fast food, try to eat meats that are, that are raised responsibly and not full of hormones and antibiotics, and pretty much that's the approach I take to my diet.
So what do you walk around at then? So you're obviously not struggling to make 94, or like, are you kind of not struggling, but you'll still walk around at 96 and come down from there? How do you prepare, or do you just walk around at 94 kilos?
No, I usually walk around between 96, on the lower end, 98 kilos at the absolute highest. So usually I'm around 97, and I fluctuate a little bit.
Yep.
Where some people cut water weight and some people cut carbohydrates. What I found works best for me is rather than cutting, carbs or fat or protein, I just cut everything down, but keep the ratios the same,
Yep.
So I maintain exactly what I would normally do. I just bring the total volume down. And the other thing, I drink a lot of raw milk with protein, which has a lot of calories. So the biggest thing I do that helps me lose weight going into competition is I just bring down the number of shakes that I drink, and I immediately will lose 1.5 kilos. And then as I approach competition, usually the week before competition, I just bring the volume of food I eat down. And then usually I don't even have to sauna. I actually prefer not to cut weight in the sauna anymore. I used to, but I found I was so groggy from doing that I actually preferred to cut food volume rather than sweating. But yeah, it's pretty easy for me to make weight. It's been pretty comfortable for me.
When you cut the food volume, is that just in the last, I'm not sure if you just answered this and I missed it, but is that in the last week? Because obviously, I'm not sure, but are a lot of your competitions, are you still testing a couple of weeks out? Are you having a heavy week before you have a rest week? Is it easier to cut your, is it just the last week? It's really easy to cut your volume down of food because you don't have to recover because you're not doing as heavy a session, or?
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, so the week of competition, say I compete Saturday, so Monday through Friday, that's just light. My body's recovering.
Yep.
And so that's when I really start to cut the volume back. And I don't cut it. I mean, I'll still eat 3 meals, 4 meals, 5 meals a day, but they're just smaller portions.
Yep.
And that's exactly it. I mean, you hit it on the head when you said, the volume is less, the intensity is less, so you need less food, less nutrients to recover,
Cool.
So that's exactly it.
Hey, Jared, you mentioned before saunas, and you obviously use them for recovery and that stuff. There's a lot of, I don't know if you've heard of Dr. Rhonda Patrick.
I haven't. No, I'm not familiar with her.
Yeah, she was I think she's a biologist, or I can't remember, to be honest. She was on an episode of Barbell Shrug, and she was talking about the significance of saunas and heat therapy in the effects of recovery on the body, and just how good they are at spiking your HGH levels and all this sort of stuff. Do you? Well, I mean, obviously when you were training full time, were you using saunas a lot?
Was I using? I'm sorry, soreness.
Sauna, as in sorry, it's probably the accent.
Sauna.
Sauna.
The little
Sauna.
Gotcha.
Sauna.
I was like, am I using the soreness to help my train? I was like, what is it? Gotcha, the little language
What are
barrier
these fucking
there,
Australians
so
on about?
These Australians are retarded.
I didn't use the sauna much, but I have seen the studies. But what I did use is I really like to use the ice plunge to help my joints. My joints feel a lot better. But what I also found is I really like to do like the cryobaric chamber.
Yep.
I think I said that right. The cryo chamber.
Yep.
Where it gets down to like, very sub-freezing temperature. Like I'm not sure what it would be in centigrade, but like negative. God, like downwards of like negative 100 and some odd Fahrenheit. So super cold.
Yep.
For about 3 minutes, and I found that I felt great. I slept great. Because your body at extreme temperatures, whether it be heat or cold, your body will produce, like you said, human growth hormone along with some other hormones. I swear
just
by
keep you
it.
alive, basically.
Yeah, and I didn't use the sauna a lot. That wasn't, my favorite, but I know that Kendrick, who, 2-time Olympian in weightlifting,
Sure.
he saunas like just about every day, or at least when I trained with him, he would sauna. There's a sauna in the gym, and he would use it like every day, and he swore by it. So. But there is something to be said about putting your body into extreme temperatures and it responding with growth hormone release.
Well, it's funny. Dimitri Klokov, who's a good friend of Adventure Fit, he absolutely swears by saunas and heat therapy, so massage and all that sort of stuff. But we were speaking to a physio just last week, actually, Anthony Lowe. He does a lot of the CrossFit guys, and he was talking about no matter what it is. Everyone's an individual, and whatever relaxes you mentally is probably doing a good thing. So for me, cold temperature does the complete opposite. And yet for you, it does something that's very beneficial. My friend who plays football loves the idea of getting on a few beers on a Saturday night. And obviously, we all know that from a physiological perspective, that's shocking for you. But mentally,
boosting
just
the
relaxing.
HGH.
Yeah, that's right. Just
All the
drinks a bottle of
testosterone.
HGH. Yeah.
3 a.m. on a Saturday night. My testosterone levels are pretty high.
He's actually not drinking HGH, he's drinking GBH, mate. So, Jack, if you're out there, you're a straight edge fella. I love you. But it's just interesting how different things work for different people, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's really mind over matter. Whatever, you can do things that will, scientifically decrease your body's ability to perform. But if it gives you a mental or psychological edge, I mean, honestly, the mind is, the most important thing when you're a great athlete. If you have the mind of a champion, then you're going to succeed. I mean, if you have a couple beers and it brings you down, it brings you, your stress levels down, you're able to relax and be in the moment, then that works for you, even though physically it may not. I mean, the mind is an amazing thing, and if you can learn to tame and harness that whatever way you need, then that's going to help you.
Definitely.
So Sorry, you go, Mac.
I was going to say those that cryo. What did you just say? It was a cryo thing.
Cryotherapy chamber.
Yeah, I'm really interested that you can do that in 3 minutes, because the benefits of sauna is about 20 minutes plus.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you just jump straight into this? I don't even know what it is. A bath, a tube.
It's so what it is you'll have to look it up. You'll have to go online afterwards and type in cryotherapy. And what it is it's like they have a couple ways they do it, but the ones I've been in, it's a stand up like chamber, and you step in, and it's got a liquid nitrogen tank hooked up to it. They turn the liquid nitrogen on, and it sprays it into the chamber that you're in, and you have to wear gloves, and you have to wear like boots on your feet.
What
and
about
then you go
testicles?
They pretty much go up into your stomach. They're non-existent for about 3 minutes.
Wow.
You leave the testicles out the door with your shoes, and then you take them when they're done.
They look like the umbilical cord on a 2-week-old baby by the time it's done.
They look, little raisinets. But
or for you, Bill, when you just look down.
But you just leave on your underwear. You get in. They drop the. I mean, it's immediately you start shivering.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the more extreme the temperature, the shorter the duration that you need to be in. A sauna, you can only get to a certain temperature where it becomes dangerous. Same thing with cold as well, but that's why it's only 3 minutes, because it's such an extreme temperature.
And then would you go to a hot shower after that? Is it like cold hot therapy, or is it just that and then you just slowly warm back up to room temperature?
No, you want to warm up slowly back to room temperature. It's totally different from contrasting, where you go hot tub, ice plunge, hot tub. That type of contrast is more for blood flow and moving nutrients through the muscle, as far as what I've learned from it. Whereas this is strictly about your body releasing hormones.
And this is post-training, or is this just on your day off, before bed, first thing in the morning?
Either way, like I never before working out, either after training or on a rest day. Either is good. And actually, I just remembered this. It was actually designed for people with severe chronic arthritis. For whatever, they showed that it really helped substantially with joint pain as well. And that was what it was originally used for. So yeah, but I found it worked really well with my joints, and I slept better and felt more recovered when I did it.
Joe Rogan swears by them he's always talking about going to the cryotherapies on his podcast. Yeah, I've heard him talk about it countless amounts of times. It's funny because I've never seen it anywhere around Melbourne.
No, that's why I'm not familiar with it.
I don't know if they're obviously just things take time to spread. Like we've got float tanks. I don't know, like sensory deprivation tanks. Jared, have you would have are they popping up in the US, or they've been around for a while? Because in Melbourne they're sprouting up everywhere, but I haven't seen the cold therapy.
Yeah, well, when we talked about your back, God, I think that was about a year ago now. When you said it, that was the first time I'd ever heard of it. And I've heard of it a couple times now here, but I've never been in one or seen one. But I do know what you're talking about, like a saltwater bath that basically,
filled with Epsom salts and magnesium, so that obviously it soaks into your body, but it lengthens out your spine, because it's the only time ever that your body's truly unweighted. Obviously, when you're sleeping, your joints are all bunched up and you're still putting lots of pressure on your body. So yeah, you're able. It's like the Dead Sea or the Red Sea, whichever one it was, where it's so salty and so much in the water that you'll float. And yeah, you just let your spine elongate, and obviously all the minerals that are going into your muscles and stuff as well. And it's also very good for mindfulness and spending a bit of time. A lot of people try and get into a really trance-like deep sleep in there, or a lot of people spend that time meditating. I think, Mac, you serviced yourself in there, I think. You were telling us. True story. Sorry, Mac.
I think a bus just came in and hit me.
But
when you were in the tank.
But they're pretty good though. I really like them. I haven't had a chance to check out the cryochamber, but I'm over in the States in July in California, and I think I'm going to give it a go.
Nice, man. Yeah, dude. I think you'll like it.
Cool. So we kind of talked about in that last little bit about mindset. Sorry, Mac. I'm just making sure we're still good, mate.
Oh yeah, I just want to go back and revisit another tank now.
Okay. Good stuff. So talking about mindset, do you meditate, Jared?
I do, and not as much as I'd like to, and I've been finding more of an interest in it. And what's interesting is I actually had a great friend of mine that I used to live with and train with named Cameron Short. He's a super heavy. He started meditating before me, met a guy that was like a sports therapist and was helping put him through meditation. And I met with this guy, and he kind of taught me the basic fundamentals of meditating. And I started seeing that the mental part of my training started getting better.
Yep.
But yeah, and ever since then, that was a little over a year ago. Ever since then, I've taken a huge love for meditation and what it does for the mind. Yeah,
it's awesome. I think it's great for training and great for just keeping you keeping you.
Do you do it every day, or do you just do it to clear the clutter when things get overwhelmed?
It's funny, when I meditated in training, it was a little different. It was more like a guided type meditation through whether it was visualization or kind of convincing myself that, I could do anything and that my body was capable of anything. So it was less of like a clear your mind type meditation and more of preparing your brain that it can, it can handle anything and your body can handle anything. And I would try to do it every day. Whereas now when I meditate, it's more based on trying to clear my mind and, basically just relieve stress and to just be more at peace. You know what I mean? It's kind of evolved into something different because now that I'm not focusing on my sport, I'm more or less just focusing on, dealing with the negative effects of, not being able to train and compete, Yeah,
absolutely. And visualization's a massive positive, certainly for weightlifting. I noticed when you approach the bar, you are talking to yourself. What do you say to yourself when you put your hands on the bar?
I mean, usually I'm just, to be honest, at that point, I'm just telling myself that I'm going to fucking rip that weight over my head. I'm just psyching myself up and pumping myself up and
you do that in an angry, aggressive way, or are you calm, like saying you can do this and positive affirmations, or you're fucking weak or whatever? What are you doing?
It depends, man. I take a little more controlled approach to the snatches because it's a little more of a fluid movement. The more pumped up you are, the more mistakes that you could possibly make. So in the snatch, I'm a little more laid back, but I'm still like, all right, let's fucking go. Let's do this. But when I'm about to take a max clean and jerk, I'm just trying to get as pumped up as possible and just literally move that bar as hard and fast as I can, because that weight's heavier and it's not quite as technical of a movement as a snatch. I'm just literally, I might be telling myself like, don't be a little bitch. Let's get it, and just pumping myself up and just doing whatever it takes to get that bar overhead, whatever that is.
Are you visualizing as well in the back room?
Yeah, I'll sit there. So, in competition, you'll kind of come up and sit in a chair and wait for your turn. And sometimes I'll just be listening to my music and kind of clearing my mind and just letting the music just kind of drown out all my thoughts. And I'm just sitting there, and sometimes I'll be thinking about the next lift. The music will drown out everybody talking and everything like that. And that's why I like music so much, is because it takes all the noise, all the sound around you and gets rid of it. And it's just you and you know what I mean? And that music just drowns everything out. Not necessarily listening to the music, but drowning everything out and focusing on the task at hand, right?
Well,
Always
that's a form of
being in the
meditation
moment.
in that situation, isn't it? You know, you don't have
Yeah,
to be sitting there silently. The basics of meditation is just to clear the clutter. So if you use music to do that and just to be totally present, then absolutely.
yeah, just being in the moment. You know, one lift at a time. Just doing what you got to do to make that lift in the moment. You know, whether it's visualizing the lift successfully 3 or 4 times, or just clearing my mind and just waiting for the opportunity to do what I've trained all this time to do.
And would you approach a PR lift different to another lift, or do you have the set routine that no matter what it is, you've done your meditation, your visualization, your music, you've said you have positive affirmations? Does it not matter what weight is on the bar, or do you put a bit of something extra into your PRs?
You know, it's kind of like this. On the days that I'm not going to be going to a PR, I'm not, the zone. Like you're in the zone. It's just you in the moment. You know, you're in a form of like meditation for an hour. You know, where it's just you got your headphones in and you're just focusing on the next lift, the next lift, the next lift, and the whole session, every single weight is the same. You know, but I think it's more like on the days that I know I have to be there, from the bar all the way to the top weight, I'm in that zone. You know, I'm visualizing the next lift. I'm clearing out everything. I'm in the moment. But on days where I'm not gonna, I might go to 90%. I might not be in that zone. You know, I'm having fun. I'm just, I'm taking video. I'm analyzing my list.
Yeah.
But on the days that it's do or die, it's 100%. I'm just in the moment. There's nothing else. So it's not just the PR. It's the days that I'm gonna PR. It's every lift up into it. I'm in the whole time.
Awesome. Hey,
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what about your training, Jared? Are you, as far as PR, heavy days, how often do you actually test your lifts? What is your year-round training schedule look like? How many comps and how many times will you go heavy and test outside of the competition floor?
Well, usually at the international level, you have 2 international meets a year. So you'd have like Pan Am's or the Commonwealth Games or whatever. But like for us, I think for you guys, you have Commonwealth Games. We have the Pan Am's.
Yep.
So we would have Pan Am's and World Championships. So there's 2 international meets a year. And then usually you have to go to 1, if not 2 national competitions. So like I would have to go to nationals to qualify for Worlds.
Yep.
And then sometimes you might have to go to the American Open to qualify for Pan Am's.
Yep.
So it's usually 3 to 4 competitions a year is about it. And then you might have some little local meets here and there just to practice, being in that competition environment. But you might not go, balls to the wall.
80, 90% kind of your what you could probably put up.
Like 90, 95%, but that you save that last 5% for, the national, international competitions. And as far as training goes, it just depends because you could go to like 100% of your PR for a 5 rep or a 10 rep max, where you're not going to a PR attempt for a single, but you might be going for a PR for a set of 5 back squat.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I might be going for a PR attempt every, in some exercise for some rep scheme, like maybe once every 2 weeks or once a month. But as far as going for a PR in the snatch or clean and jerk, I mean, that's much more rare. I mean, that's really only, at competitions or maybe 3 times a year leading up to those competitions. It's not very frequent. You got to think when you've been lifting for 13, 14 years, if you had a linear rate of hitting PRs, then you'd be, way above the world record. So like it's funny, whereas I teach a lot of these CrossFit, or I teach weightlifting to a lot of CrossFitters at camps, and they're always, they'll hit their PR, twice a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just you can only do that for so long before you hit your limit. So
but CrossFit's got their hilarious PRs. It's like, oh yeah, I just got a 17 PR calf raise. Like, oh, yeah, cool, man.
Or I just got a 25 kilo snatch PR.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What?
Because now it's 25.
Yeah, well, it's funny. A lot of not just CrossFitters, but new weightlifters, they don't understand that, hey, you're gonna go for a PR today. It's like, no, I'm really not. Going for a PR is very rare. They're so used to going for PRs that they don't have the understanding that when you've done it for so long, PRs become fewer and fewer and farther between. It might be 3 years before you hit a snatch single PR at a certain level.
That's what I was going to ask. Is what's the longest you've gone for without a PR, and then what advice do you have for people that might be stuck out there as well? To stick at it, or what's the advice?
The longest time. So in 2011, when I broke the American record total, the snatch, clean jerk, and total for the junior division. It took me 3 years to re-break that total that I did. So it took me 3 years to do more. And my advice would be find whatever you're weakest at and fix it. Whether it's flexibility, whether it's your mental game, whether it's your back squat, whether it's your pull, whether it's whatever. Find your weakest parts in your game and fix them, because I had those 3 years where I didn't hit any PRs, and at the end of that is when I hurt my back. I was pushing harder and harder at the things I was good at, and I was never bringing up the weak links, and I wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
My thing that I've learned in all my years of training is find your weakness and work it. Whatever, and constantly assess that every 6 months, every 3 months. Assess what you're weakest at and target that. And that's how you constantly improve, is by always targeting your weaknesses.
Yeah, cool. Tommy's got one. Do you want to go to a Did You Know, Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy's got something for us, Joe. We're just going to break it up. And then we'll have a little bit more of a chat, and then we'll get you out of here. But we got another quick segment. Tommy's just brought up. What is it, Tommy? I'll let you go.
Okay. So just a Did You Know, I'm just going to give you a few fun facts of the day, Jared, that you can take home. Did you know that 8% of people have an extra rib? Did you know that?
I did not know that. That sounds interesting.
That's good.
Sounds interesting.
And that's the segment.
I've got one more for you.
You got a good one?
Yep.
Or a real one?
Ralph Lauren's original name was Ralph Lifshitz. So you can see why it changed it, obviously.
That's a bit of a mouthful.
I know.
Ralph what?
That's all I've got. Ralph
That's all you got.
Lifshitz. Lifshitz. So Ralph,
lift shit.
okay, mate, can I grab the Ralph Lifshitz with a 1.25 litre Coke and just hold the mayonnaise?
Oh God,
Learn something new every day.
It's a beautiful polo you've got on there. Yeah, it's a Ralph Lifshitz.
Is it really?
All right, so Jared, let's. Sorry about that. Tommy showed me his laptop. He always comes up with a couple of riddles or little did you knows. But look, we'll get you out of here soon. What's next for you with your weightlifting? You're back on the platform hopefully in December. And what's the plan? When do you plan to be back at your best? And what's the end goal for you with weightlifting?
So yeah, I mean, December is what I'm looking at as far as getting back on the platform. 100%. I think realistically, let's see, probably be around 100% by nationals next year. So about a year from now, I think I'll be back around 100%.
Yep.
And to be honest, right now I'm not able to do full snatches or clean and jerks yet. So, I've actually, started doing some CrossFit type stuff just to be in better shape,
Yep.
Just to mix it up, do some different movements, train some cardio. And then this time just getting healthy. And, to be honest with you, I'd like to compete in the CrossFit Open next year and just see how I do. I just want to have some fun. I can't compete in weightlifting right now, so I want to do something I can be competitive in. So I'm tentatively looking to do a little CrossFit for fun and do the Open, and who knows, possibly qualify for regionals and then just go from there, along with getting back in full swing of weightlifting. And as far as my goals,
Matt Fraser.
Yeah, man.
Really cool.
And Matt Fraser is a great friend of mine. We actually used to compete against each other, and we used to room together at nationals and on international trips. We're actually really close. We talk even to this day. I just talked to him the other day a little bit.
And what about the 2020 Olympics?
Yeah, and that was what I was just going to go to too. Is my goals haven't changed. I've always wanted to be an Olympian, and tearing my knee is just another hiccup in the road. But that's not the end. That's just a bump in the road. I mean, I'm 24. I'll be 28 in 2020, and I feel like that will be my peak. So, Right now, just looking to have some fun, take a little break from life, just stay fit, stay in shape, and then about a year from now, really get back into full swing weightlifting and start chomping at the bit to the 2020 Olympics.
That's awesome, man. Realistically, you'd have a go at the 2024 as well. I mean, you'll be 32 by that stage. There's a lot of weightlifters. How old's Kendrick? Kendrick's 30 plus.
I believe Kendrick's 30. Yeah, 30. I think he's 30 now. And Colin Burns is like 32 or 33.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So yeah, I mean, if my body stays healthy, which I think I take pretty good care of it, then yeah, I could certainly be even looking at 2024. Which, hey, if I still love it, which I've loved it this many years, and I think I'll continue to love it. I think 2020, 2024 are both definitely in the scope of reality. Yeah,
for sure. Good stuff. All right, what we'll do, we'll go to 9 from 9. So that's 3 questions from me. This is our last segment we've got for you, Jared, and then we'll let you get out of here. So I'll start us off with my 3 questions. And so, are you a well-traveled man?
Oh yeah, I've been all over the world, man. I've been to countless countries. I've been to every continent but Antarctica and Africa.
Sick. You I remember we were talking before our Japan trip last year. You were keen. We were trying to get you over to make it happen. And geez, you missed out on that one, man. That was so much fun. Japan's weird.
Is it?
Yeah, but awesome at the same time. Just such a culture shock and so pretty and stuff. So. Hey, anyway, my question to you is, what's your favourite destination you've ever been? It can be a small town, can be a big city, can be a nation. You can, what do you got?
Let's see. Man, I've been to so many different countries and I've seen so many things, but the coolest, for whatever reason, when I was in Israel in 2012, and I went to the Dead Sea, which, you mentioned earlier, and a couple other places. But just being in Israel, for whatever reason, I just felt really good. I liked the vibe. I liked how I felt.
Cool.
And I think Israel, being in the Dead Sea, was there's so many places, and I've enjoyed so many other different experiences. It's tough to say, but I really enjoyed Israel for whatever reason. Just the feeling I got being there.
That's awesome, man.
Was yep.
That's awesome. That's one we haven't had before. That's for sure. Second question is. Similar vein, can be anywhere. What's your dream destination?
Dream. As of recently, my dream destination, and it's actually interesting because I think I'm going to go there in October, but I want to go to Tibet. Yeah. I think me and my girlfriend we're going to go to India in October for like a month or so, and we're going to, I think, try to go to all those Asian countries and definitely want to hit Tibet. So I think of some of my recent interests, I think Tibet's where I want to go.
Cool. Nice one. And thirdly, if you're stuck on a desert island and you've got 3 things to keep you sane, what are those things? You've got things to keep you alive and, you've got all that. What are the 3 things to keep you... It's a big question. Playboy. That's the best answer we've
had. Some vodka and
a woman?
No, I'm just kidding. The G-rated things I would take with me.
Beyond
the things to keep you sexually sane. I don't know. Let's see. Probably. It's interesting. You guys ever seen that show, Naked and Afraid?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
My dad was on that. No, I'm joking.
Gives you an idea of some of the things. I would probably take a tarp for shelter and something to collect rain with.
Yep.
Cool.
A knife or some form of knife. Actually,
just for cutting yourself.
I don't know. A tarp, a flint, and then either a knife or a gun with a bunch of ammo, because then you could just easily hunt your food and
shoot stuff.
But you need a knife to cut the animal open, so I don't know.
See, now we're getting back into the consciousness
gun with a
thing
bayonet.
Again.
Gun with a bayonet.
There. Oh, you know what? There you go. Boom. Perfect. doubles. Awesome. Those 3 things. That'd be what I would take.
Well, now you've got one more, don't you? Gun with a bayonet, tarp. Oh no. Sorry. Where was I?
Hey,
what do you got, Mac?
Jared, my 3 questions. What's your morning ritual?
As of lately, just sleep in until I can't stay in bed anymore because I'm too sore. But morning ritual. I like to. As of late, I've liked to. We just moved to a lake house about 3 months ago, so I like to just have some tea. My girlfriend likes making tea. Just have her make. She makes some tea, and then go sit out on the deck and just watch the lake and just relax. That's as of late. That's been my morning ritual.
Wow.
That's a pretty good morning ritual.
Isn't it?
You got any stress in your life, mate?
You got $1 trillion in the bank, Jared? Or?
Yeah. My Swiss bank account's pretty full. So.
That's what I was thinking.
Talking about money, if you had only $1,000 left, what would you do?
Dang, that's a tough one, man. I thought I was going to be able to answer all these in like a matter of 30 seconds. If I had $1,000 left, oh my God. And I couldn't make any more money. That's it.
No. So, see, I asked this question because I want to know, don't take this the wrong way, the smart people versus the not so much smart people. Because you could say, I'm going to take this $1,000 and invest it, or you could say, I'm going to blow it all on cocaine and hookers.
Yeah, well, that was what I was going to say is
good choices.
My question was, can I make money with that money, or is that the last $1,000 I'm ever going to have to spend? Because if that's the last $1,000 I'm ever going to have, then cocaine and hookers is the way to go. But
I don't get how that's the dumb thing to say.
What percentage of cocaine and what percentage of hookers?
Yeah, that's right.
50-50.
Nice. That is so much
because you got and then do them both at the same time. But $1,000. To be honest with you, I would find some way to make money off that money and then grow it from there.
I was thinking both.
But I don't know what that includes. I don't know.
No, that's cool. You can say
I would find a way to use that money to make more money.
Yep.
To then not only have $1,000 in my bank account.
Yep, that's a good answer. So, what's the number one item on your bucket list?
Make the Olympics, man. That's what it's been my whole life. That's what my life has been centered around for so long. Just making the Olympics, man. That's it.
Great, good job, mate.
Okay. Hey, Jared. Sue, who was your biggest role model growing up?
Biggest role model growing up.
Biggest inspiration.
Probably. I don't know. Biggest inspiration. I don't know. I want to say my dad, to be honest with you. I mean, my dad was a great guy. He was a great guy, great father. Always motivated me in the gym and in life. My dad, I hope that someday I can be just like him.
Excellent. Good answer. What do you like to do in your downtime? So when you're not training, when you're not coaching, when you're not doing this and that?
Coke and hookers.
Coke and hookers, yep.
Yeah, Coke and hookers. But that with my last 1,000.
Yeah.
My biggest hobby, honestly, is dirt bike riding. I grew up on a farm, and I've been riding dirt bikes since before I started lifting weights. And there's nothing like keeping you in the moment and being in nature for me, like riding a dirt bike. That's my thing. That's my go-to. And if I'm ever feeling stressed and I need to get out and relax, I'll just hop on my dirt bike and go for like an hour ride through the woods, and then life's better. So that's my hobby.
I like it. Okay, and final question, mate. If you could have 3 people to dinner, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
3 people to dinner. Man,
throughout
all at the
history,
same time,
all at the same time, my friend.
Oh man, that's interesting. I would say one of them would probably be Einstein.
Ooh, good
I
one.
feel like
Awesome.
the knowledge and the vision and the things that man must have. I would want to pick that guy's brain and see his perspective on life and on the universe. I mean, that man was in his deathbed writing down stuff to pass on. I mean, just the wealth of knowledge that guy must have had. I think that he would be one of them. Probably would talk to what's his name? The Nikola Tesla.
Cool.
Another guy who just created damn near everything that we use today, like the radio and all these things. I would want to talk to that guy and just see where all this knowledge and everything came from. I'm so interested in knowledge,
For sure.
And then the third one, I mean, this might sound crazy, but Jesus, if history has proven that he's actually, if history proves that he was a real person, that would be the number one person I'd want to talk to, like, to find out the secrets of the universe, man.
Yeah.
That of all the people in history, he would be the one to give it to you. So, imagine that. So, I would say that those three people would be the three I would probably sit down and have dinner with. Imagine that lineup.
Well, I was just going to ask. I mean, that is one hell of a dinner party. What are you serving?
A weightlifter, a sea parter, and 2 scientists.
Yeah. What do they?
Yeah.
What does everyone eat there? Do you go with paleo or?
I think what does everybody eat? Is that what you said?
Yeah. What would you give them if you invited them around for dinner? Would you just go to Macca's and get some steamed hams?
Yeah, hey guys, we're gonna go get I'm on $1,000 budget here.
Yeah.
I don't have much left from the Coke and hookers, so we're gonna have to go to Macca's and get some double cheeseburgers.
Yeah. Einstein, you gonna be okay with that?
To be honest, rather than dinner, I'll probably hey guys, I got $1,000 left. Let's go blow some lines and some hookers.
I
And we'll
definitely
have a
think
good
Jesus
time.
would be up for that.
Do you reckon I should delete that? We're going to eat these hookers remark. I'm
Bill.
a little nervous about that one. All right, Jared. That's been an awesome show, man. We've got so much from it. Before we go, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, man. My website is AmericanLifter.com. You can find everything on my website as far as, upcoming training camps, whether they're in the U.S. or Australia or wherever, which, by the way, anybody that wants to host a camp in Australia, email me at theamericanlifter@gmail.com.
I'll jump in there and just say, when I did the Parabellum, I think it was the Parabellum camp 2 years ago, we paid about $500 or something really, really achievable. It wasn't over the top. It was 3 days with Rudy and Jared, and it was 100%, I'm not saying this because Jared's on the phone, it was 100% the best seminar out of innumerable seminars that I've done when it came to weightlifting and CrossFit.
Camps has been the best I've done yet.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. But yeah, I would love the opportunity to come back to Australia and bring my father and do some like a whole series of training camps over there. Would love to do that. So anybody interested, like I said, email me at theamericanlifter@gmail.com. But also on my website, you can see we have programming. We also, my father and I just started doing personalized programming for weightlifting. The program is written completely to you, your weaknesses, what you need to work on. Completely in and out, individualized programming with video review. So if that's something you're interested in, also email me. But yeah, check that out. Check out one of our camps. There's some programming on my website, AmericanLifter.com, and
cool.
That's about it, man.
Excellent.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And one last, where can people find you? Social media, what are you at?
Yeah, man. For Instagram, Jared F94, and then on Facebook, just Jared Fleming. Add me as a friend. Love to, have you guys see what I'm putting out there. And then my athlete page is Jared Fleming Athlete. So if you guys are looking for any of that, and then also if you're having any back issues or things like that, and you're looking for some direction, go to YouTube and type in Jared Fleming back. And you'll find 2 videos. You'll find a stretching video and a strengthening video, all related to getting your back healthy. And it's the exact routine that I did. And there's a lot of lots of people have gotten in touch with me and said how much it's helped. So I really hope that if you're having issues, take a look at that, and hopefully it can give you some guidance.
Good stuff.
Excellent.
Thanks
Good
very much,
stuff.
Jared.
Yeah, thank you guys a lot for having me, and love the topics, love the questions, and I kind of enjoyed the tangents of going off on some existential questions. It was fun, man.
You know what? We'll do another show and we'll just talk about that shit the whole time. 5 hours.
That'd be awesome.
5 hours.
All right.
Go on forever.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Jared.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Alrighty, that's a wrap.
And that concludes the 2-part series of Jared Fleming. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of it. I'm sure, I know I did. If you did enjoy this episode, and even if you didn't, subscribe on iTunes. You can find our show notes at adventurefittravel.com/podcast, where you can join our mailing list so you do not miss out on any updates, blogs, or promotions on any episodes and everything Adventure Fit. Until then, adios.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.